This is an excerpt from my book, Traveling the Wilderness Road. We are continuing our journey on the Wilderness Road from our location on Church Street in Jonesville, Virginia. Return to Main Street, US 58 alternate, and turn right. Continue straight at the traffic light for 1.9 miles. Notice the house on the right across from the middle school. We'll know we are getting close when we see the school zone sign. This is the Dickinson Milburn House. It was completed in 1848 for Benjamin Dickinson. The house has a pair of semi-exterior brick chimneys at each gable end. In 1851, the property was acquired by Andrew Milburn from Dickinson's heirs. Union troops used the house and its outbuildings for protection from Confederate attack on January 3, 1864. Much of the fighting, as well as the subsequent Federal surrender, took place on the property. The house was not seriously damaged and probably served as a hospital after the battle. It is listed on the National Register of Historical Places. We will see a Victorian-style house on the right at the west end of Jonesville. It was the home of Judge James Wesley Orr and was built in the 1880s. Turn right onto Campground Road, Virginia 652, then immediately turn left into the church parking lot. This is a detour from the Wilderness Road route so we can see another historic location. The brick building is the Jonesville Campground United Methodist Church. The wooden building to the right is the Jonesville Campground Methodist Church Camp Meeting Shed. It is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The camp meeting originated with the religious needs of people living on the frontiers of the South. Religious meetings were often held in groves of trees. Brush arbors and tents provided protection at first, with more permanent buildings of logs or plank being erected later. In a letter to her brother, Mary McClure wrote on June 23, 1823, "I take this opportunity of writing you a few lines to let you know that we are well at present. I have nothing particularly to write to you. I was at a great camp meeting last week in Lee. It was the greatest meeting that ever I was at. You might hear them shout a mile. There is no other society here but Methodist. I like them better than any other society." The historical marker reads, "This campground was established in 1810 as a place for religious services for the Methodists of Lee County on lands given by Elkanah Wynn. In June 1827, Reverend Abraham Still, Daniel Dickinson, George Morris, Evans Peary, Henry Thompson, Elkanah Wynn, and James Woodward were appointed trustees. The present auditorium was built in 1827 to 28. The massive oak columns were hewn by Henry Woodward, David Orr, Robert Wynn, and Reverend Joseph Haskew. Return to US 58 and travel 1 mile back toward Jonesville. Turn right onto Kurt Russell Road, Virginia 662. We are now back on the original Wilderness Road route. At the time of this writing, a Subway restaurant is located inside the gas station on the corner here. There is a picnic area at the next stop, so if it is near lunchtime, this would be a good place to grab a sandwich. Travel 1.7 miles on Kurt Russell Road. Pull over at the Dr. Steele's birthplace marker on the left. The marker reads, Andrew Taylor Steele, physician and founder of osteopathic medicine, was born here in a log cabin on August 6, 1828. The cabin now stands on the campus of Kirksville College of Osteopathy and Surgery in Kirksville, Missouri, the first American school of osteopathic medicine, founded by Dr. Steele in 1892. Dr. Steele, a veteran of the war between the states, died at Kirksville on December 12, 1917. There are covered picnic tables here where we can enjoy lunch if we brought it with us. Continue on Kurt Russell Road, Virginia 662 for 0.8 mile. We will see a guardrail on the right. There may or may not be a natural bridge and or wilderness road sign here. The road passes over a natural limestone bridge. There is no safe place to pull off the road, and getting to a view of the bridge would require trespassing on private property. My photo of the natural bridge was taken many years ago. The Daniel Boone Wilderness Trail Association is currently negotiating with the landowner to purchase the property for improvement and to be made accessible to the public. The bridge is one of the few documented waypoints along the Wilderness Road. Continue on Kurt Russell Road, Virginia 662 for 1 mile. We will pass a log house on the left about which I can find no information. Pull over at the turnout on the right beside the group of signs, which unfortunately may no longer be legible. This is an interpretive site for the Cedars Natural Area Preserve. According to the sign that was present when I visited, the Cedars Natural Area Preserve protects an impressive karst area that supports one of the highest concentrations of rare plants, animals, and natural communities in the state. The preserve is underlain by calcium-rich limestone bedrock, which is key to the presence of these rarities. Stay on Kurt Russell Road, Virginia 662 for 2.8 miles. We will have an unobstructed view of the white rocks of Cumberland Mountain in the distance to the northwest. These prominent cliffs were a familiar landmark along the Wilderness Road. Imagine the excitement the pioneers must have felt when these rocks finally came into view. Keep straight at the stop sign and travel for 2 miles on Tobacco Road, Virginia 662. Notice the layers of limestone on the right as we ascend the bluff of Powell River. The rock districts of this area lie where sedimentary rocks form parallel ridgelines and intervening valleys. Higher ridges are usually composed of resistant sandstone, while lower knolls, hills, and valleys are underlain by less resistant strata, including limestone and dolomite. Turn left onto Flatwoods Road, Virginia 661, and go 2.5 miles. We will cross Hardy's Creek via a concrete bridge. Hardy's Creek and Dry Creek were commonly called Trading Creek when this area was originally settled. Turn right onto Wilson Road, Virginia 855, and go 1.9 miles. Historians suggest the Wilderness Road passed this way. I have yet to find a record indicating it was here and not the current more level route. However, I will defer to the experts. Turn right onto Nursery Road, Virginia 667. Travel 1.1 miles to the intersection with George Bryant Road, Virginia 671. Pull over to the left. Be mindful of oncoming traffic. Also, this is private property, so do not trespass. Note the silver-leaf maple logo in the center gable of the house. The community of Silverleaf is the only site on the Wilderness Road actually named by Daniel Boone. He camped here and named the area Silver Maple because of the trees. It was later modified to Silver Leaf. One of the first commercial enterprises in Lee County was the Silver Leaf Nursery, established here by Eli Davis in the early 1800s. Davis came to Lee County as a young man from Claiborne County, Tennessee. After farming and teaching school, he became interested in budding and grafting fruit trees. This grew into a thriving business that lasted over 50 years. Davis and his wife Nancy donated the lot on which Silver Leaf Church was founded. Davis's grandson Sylvan, better known as Sib, was the last to operate the store, which is located next to the house. The Davis descendants still carry on the business, which is now known as Davis Brothers Nursery and is located a few miles from here. Continue on Nursery Road, Virginia 667 for 3.1 miles. When we reach the intersection with US 58, notice the Daniel Boone Wilderness Trail sign. At the time of this writing, the arrow is pointing right. This is an error. It should be pointing left, which is westward. Turn left on US 58 and go 0.4 miles. Turn left onto Dr. Thomas Walker Road, US 58 Business, and go 0.3 miles. There is enough room to pull off the road at the Martin's Station historical marker on the right. The marker states, in March 1769, Joseph Martin led a party of men to the Powell Valley and attempted to establish a settlement nearby. By that fall, they abandoned the site after conflicting with Native Americans. Martin returned here with a party of men in early 1775 and built a fort known as Martin's Station on the north side of Martin's Creek. The wooden fort contained between 5 and 6 cabins built about 30 feet apart with stockades between each building. This site was abandoned in June 1776 during further regional conflicts between settlers and Native Americans. Boone and his party rested here at Martin's Station. The small town of Rose Hill was eventually founded around the original fort site. A replica of Martin's Station will be found at Wilderness Road State Park farther on the auto tour. Additional information regarding the history of this settlement will be included later.